What if a farmhouse didn't stand still, but bloomed? Not with wildflowers or vines, though those may come, but with spirit, with movement, with grace tucked into every iron curve. Here, beneath a sky wrapped in silver mist, a new kind of home waits. It doesn't shout. It whispers. A wrought iron tendril rises from the rooftop, not a decoration, but a signature. The quiet flourish of something wild made gentle. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button because it's a simple way to show your love for these incredible designs. This isn't the barn you grew up imagining. It doesn't settle for plain lines or sharp corners. It doesn't mimic, it dares. Because this is Art Nouveau, where even steel bends to beauty, where the earth and the hand of the maker meet halfway and agree on poetry. It hums in soft curves, speaks through stained glass. Nothing is rushed. Nothing is loud. And yet it stirs something ancient inside you. So, stay with me just a little longer, because once you've seen a barndominium sing, really sing, you'll never forget the sound. Step closer. Just beyond these doors, the air shifts. It smells like old wood and copper kissed by sun, the kind of air that holds a memory of rain, of laughter, of tools echoing on iron 100 years ago. The timber here isn't just old, it's lived. You can feel it exhale, creaking softly like it's welcoming you back. And look, those beams, they're laced with lilies, not painted, forged, sculpted by hands that believed even structure should feel alive. This isn't just shelter, it's story. The walls don't sit in straight lines anymore. They flow, they bend. They seem to reach for something, light, maybe, or grace. We share new content regularly to help you create spaces you love, so don't forget to subscribe. Tonight, we leave the rules behind. No more stiff symmetry, no more cold rectangles. Instead, we chase the curves, follow the flourishes, let the lines blur between architecture and art. This is Art Nouveau, not in a museum, but out in the wide prairie wind. It's here where nature and design fall into rhythm, where every detail asks you to feel, not just look. So go on, step in, the door is already open. Here, structure isn't skeleton, it's script. Every beam you see doesn't just hold the house, it tells its story. It moves like a sentence scrawled in elegant cursive, looping and dipping across the ceiling, pausing just long enough to let the eye catch its breath. The cast iron columns rise not with stiffness but with grace. They don't stand, they stretch, like wild stems reaching for light. You don't just see them, you follow them the way your eyes chase waves across a still lake. There are no harsh stops, no sudden angles. Even the joints, those quiet, hidden places where elements meet, are softened, wrapped in filigree and form. It's as if the house itself resists straight lines, as if it knows that nature doesn't grow in squares. And isn't that what this is all about? A kind of return. Not to the past, but to the organic, the natural, the fluid. If you found this video inspiring, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support means to me, and it helps keep the design ideas coming your way. This barndominium doesn't just rise from the land. It grows from it, it curves with it, it listens to it. In Art Nouveau, architecture becomes language. And here, every curve is a word, every arch, a thought. And you? You're already reading it even if you don't know the alphabet yet. The exterior is a canvas, and nature the restless artist. Look closely. What first seemed like simple metal reveals itself to be alive with detail. Leaves pressed into copper, their veins frozen mid-motion. Vines curling not by accident but by choice. Handcrafted, intentional, like a garden sculpted from flame. And then there's the light. It doesn't fall on the house. It dances with it. Morning spills in through alabaster skylights, warm and creamy, softening every edge. By noon, the hammered copper along the walls begins to blush, like it's caught a secret. Colors aren't painted here. They arrive. They change. Ivy greens deepen into mossy shadows, then slip into the cool mystery of peacock blue. When dusk comes, the house shifts again, becoming bronze, then rust, then something like smoke. It never stays the same. That's the magic. The wind leaves fingerprints in the patina. The rain draws maps no one else will ever see. Every element leaves its mark, not as damage, but as collaboration. This isn't design that resists time. It welcomes it, invites it in like an old friend. Because in this world, imperfection isn't a flaw. It's a layer, a story, a line in the poem nature keeps writing over and over again. If you love this type of look, hit that subscribe button to help us create more videos, and let us know in the comments what you'd love to see in future videos. Listen. Can you hear the staircase telling stories? It doesn't creak. It murmurs. With each step, a whisper. Not from wood or weight, but from memory. From hands that shaped its spine, coaxing steel into a slow, elegant spiral. This isn't just a way up. It's a sculpture you can walk through. Its balusters bloom with bronze poppies, petals open wide as if catching morning dew. But look closer. These flowers aren't delicate. They're clever. Inside their stems, the hidden veins of the house flow, solar wiring tucked inside hollow curves, unseen, unfelt, but always working. Every flourish has a purpose. Every twist has intention. Even the shadows it casts are designed, falling across the floor like lace. You don't just use this staircase, you interact with it. You trace its curves, you pause mid-climb, hand resting on a blossom, not out of need, but reverence. Because someone, somewhere, decided this could be more than steps. They believed function could be a love letter. And once you've seen this, once you've climbed through something made with this much care, you start to wonder, what else have we forgotten to make beautiful? What else have we rushed when we could have let it bloom? This is the heartbeat of the home. Not just a kitchen, not quite a studio, but something in between, alive, humming, whole. Here, meals simmer beside sketches. Bread rises quietly near a page still wet with watercolor. There's no dividing line, no wall saying, this is where you cook, and this is where you dream. It all happens together, in rhythm. The mahogany countertop bends in a gentle arc, smooth as a river finding its own way. You run your hand across it and feel not just wood, but years, stories, craft. It curves not because it must, but because it can, because straight lines would be too harsh for something meant to nourish. In Art Nouveau, function and fantasy dance cheek to cheek. One step practical, the next romantic. That's why even the spice rack is beautiful, why the light fixtures curl like vines, why your favorite chair sits half in the kitchen, half in the studio, because it doesn't matter where one ends and the other begins. This room doesn't separate life into tasks. It lets it all flow. And in that flow, something rare happens. Time softens, creativity stirs, and you begin to feel what home really means. Elegance isn't the opposite of engineering. It's the mask that makes engineering magic. Here, the technology doesn't shout. It hides beautifully. A cast iron acanthus leaf near the floor, that's not decoration, it's a vent. Geothermal warmth rising from deep below, winding gently into the room like breath from the earth itself. You wouldn't notice it unless someone told you. And even then, you'd smile in disbelief. Look up. Rainwater doesn't just slide down a gutter. It dances down sculpted gargoyles, their mouths parted as if mid-laugh, feeding water into underground cisterns. Every drop saved, every use considered. Nothing is wasted, not water, not wind, not a single inch of this place. And yet, you'd never guess. The sustainability is disguised in scrollwork and artistry. The wires hum beneath sculpted crown moldings.